Hello and welcome to this week's NoMorePly Beyond the Board. Now last week we touched on the installer show, and during this week we've had an amazing 3 days at the installer show, loads of interaction and a fantastic opportunity to speak to many installers, architects, specifiers, stockists and much more. In last week's video I promised that we would touch on roofing. Now fibre cement particularly is very good for roofing applications. Let's start off on traditional pitched roofing with tiles. So when using fibre cement with traditional pitched roofing, you can use it as a soffit strip, and NoMorePly indeed does offer soffit strips in both 1.2 metre and 2.4 metre lengths. And this is used on the edging of the roof and is normally haunched up with concrete and sits underneath the traditional battens to give you a nice finished surface on the edge of the roofing. So that's the most traditional and standard use of fibre cement in pitched roofing. However, with fire protection becoming ever more prevalent in our builds, another great use of fibre cement is to actually overboard your roofing structure prior to applying the breather membrane and battens. This will give you a Class A1 non-combustible fire rated surface to apply your battens to and then apply your finished roofing surface to. It just gives you that peace of mind that should there be a fire inside or out, that you can actually be sure that the fire won't quickly spread through the roof. It also contains its structural integrity even if moist or gets very wet, so you can cover the roof up with the fibre cement boards, leave it exposed to the elements. Once dry you can apply the breather membrane, battens and then of course your tiles. So that's on traditional pitch roofing. But where it gets really interesting is with GRP roofing, or rubber solution roofing, or even silicone roofing systems. So traditionally, these are applied to flat or what they class as semi-flat roofing structures. So why is fibre cement so good for this application? The main reason it's so good is because of its fire rating. The second reason it's so good is because it retains its structural integrity even when moist or very wet. So with NoMorePly tongue and groove boards, which come in an 18 or 22mm thick board, these can be used direct to your roof joists, and then you can apply your GRP or finished roofing surface to the top of it. What these boards give you is a structural roof surface on which to work on, which is completely safe for the installers, but more than that, it gives you a fire rated roof surface, again to contain any fire within the building or from without. Another great feature of fibre cement, as mentioned earlier, is that it's resistant to moisture, mould, delamination, swelling and any area that might cause the roof to fail. So fibre cement really does stand out as a great substrate for GRP, rubber, liquid or even silicone-based roofing systems. And if you had popped to our stand earlier this week at the installer show, you'd have seen 3 different build-ups onto our board displaying how fantastic the boards hold to these kind of roofing structures. Now another area that is less known about fibre cement is in the area of thatched roofing. Now fibre cement is what they call micro-porous. So it means that ultimately air and moisture will eventually pass through it. Now obviously it's not going to pass through as fast as timber-based products, but it does mean that it has a very small amount of breathability, which when you're installing a thatched roof is of all importance. Because if you have any mildew or moisture build up between the roof surface and the thatch, you could end up with moulding and ultimately the roof falling to bits or failing. So fibre cement sheet material fixed onto your roof structure before you apply your thatched will be sure to give you a completely solid surface that isn't going to cause any problems with delamination, mould or even rot with your thatched roof. Again, the fire rating comes in here. As a non-combustible A1 fire rated board, you can be sure that your thatched roof can be applied to the top with complete soundness and also know that it's not going to catch fire if there's a fire within inside the property. Or if the thatch did catch fire externally, it's not going to quickly spread inside the property. Hopefully that gives you some insights. If you've got a project where you think our fibre cement boards could work well with your roofing structure, reach out, have a chat with our technical team, have a chat with one of the area sales managers or myself. We're very happy to talk to you, very happy to look at every project and advise the best solution for your application. Thanks for watching this week's video and we look forward to seeing you again soon. All the best.